On today's video, I'm going to be sharing one of my DMT trip experiences where I received a super powerful message that I'm supposed to share with everyone. At the end of this video, I'm going to insert a little clip of me speaking about my experience after I came out of it. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel, and on my channel, we talk about all spiritual things, spiritual experiences, ways to evolve your soul, and basically everything that feels good. I just want to insert this disclosure here that I do not condone or encourage the use of any illegal or legal substances. I am not promoting the use of it. I am not encouraging. I am only speaking purely from my own experiences. Now, prior to this experience, I was told that I'm supposed to set intentions for my DMT trips, but I just really never did it consciously, or I feel like I just never had a super important intention. Now, when I had this experience, I was just tired of not remembering anything that happened in the trips, because with DMT, it's super hard to remember once you come out of it. Or if you remember when you come out of it, it fades away super quick. So what I typically do is I'll record myself talking about it at the end, just so that I can make sure that I remember it. I don't forget all the little details. So for this experience, the intention that I set was to remember. I said, whatever happens, I just want to remember it. I want to be able to take away whatever it is I'm supposed to take away from it and just, remember it. That's all I cared about, was like, let me remember. So I go into the experience and I'm seeing a lot of psychedelic stuff. A factory that kind of looks like it's made out of psychedelic colors and shapes and patterns, like a deck of card shapes, everything. But that wasn't the most important thing, or that wasn't actually important at all, to be honest with you. What ended up happening is that typically when you're in a DMT experience, everything is moving very quick and fluid. There's not really one thing that will kind of stand out to you for the most part. Now, there are different experiences. I can't speak for everybody, but for the most part, it's just pretty quick and fluid, and you're just like, okay, whatever. What they did, what the entities of the DMT realm did, was that they slowed everything down and brought it right in front of my vision. So imagine if just stuff is like floating and flying around and it's just colorful shapes and whatever, and it's really fast when you're in a DMT experience. But what they were doing was they were slowing it down and like bringing it right in front of me so I could see every detail of whatever it was. And that's why I can say it was card shapes, meaning like the spades, the diamonds, the clubs, the hearts. Like those shapes were what they were bringing, and they were slowing it down right in front of my face. And with DMT, I've never had an experience of seeing an entity actually speak, seeing their mouths move. It's more so a telepathic type of communication, I'll say. So what I was getting when this was happening was that they basically said, oh, you want to see, you want to remember, all you had to do was ask, and we'll do whatever it is that you asked for. Not only that, but share this information. Now, the reason why this was so profound is because for my next experience, I will create a video of me talking about this next experience, because it was super, super crazy. But what I'll basically say is that for every experience after that, I had a very specific intention of what it was that I wanted to accomplish, whether it was letting go of something, healing something, for something to happen in my experience, whatever it was. Because I was very specific in what I was asking for, every single time I had an experience, they gave me exactly what it was that I was asking for in their own way, in their own translation. Since that day, I have not had one experience where I had a specific intention and they didn't give me something that addressed it exactly. Now, I've been able to let go of things I was holding on to. I was able to gain some abilities that I didn't have before. It's just, I was just really able to build this communication with the entities of the DMT realm. And I can't even tell you specifically who they are or what dimension they reside in. All I can tell you is I have had several experiences of different types of entities, and sometimes it's like a more psychedelic type of trip where you'll just see like a bunch of like fractals and colors and geometric stuff, and even though there's a message in it, it's kind of that vibe of what you're seeing. Or you can have an experience to where whatever it is that you're perceiving in your trip, it's very realistic. I mean, I even had an experience prior to this where I was brought to an Amazonian like jungle, but inside the jungle it was this greenhouse that all these gigantic Amazonian women were just living and moving about, and they were concocting like potions with all these herbs and greenery. I couldn't even see their faces because they were so tall. I was up to like right here. And so all I saw was like the super, super long hair and the fact that they were kind of a green tint. And it was more so this caring and loving energy. They were trying to heal me and take care of me. And they poured some green potion down my throat. And it was supposed to do some type of healing. That's just what I remember. But again, this is before I even started setting intentions for my DMT trip. So my point being is that all experiences are different. However, when going into it with an intention, in my own experience, I have had only positive and beautiful experiences. You know, intentions with the DMT realm and asking. It's not even intention. It's asking for something very specific. Like, please help me with this. Please help me with that. I was very specific when I asked for something, and that's what I was given. Now, I don't mean anything materialistic wise. I'm talking about stuff that is going to help you, help your soul, really. Every DMT experience that I've had has changed me in some way, shape, or form for the better. I could go on and on and on because I have had several experiences, but what I will say is it is a beautiful, beautiful experience in my own experience. Now, in my next video, I will be sharing the most life-changing DMT experience that I've ever had, and it changed my whole world. For the better, of course. Stuff was just being slowed down every time it like came into my view. Like I could see the whole room, just like everything, all these parts moving or whatever, of different details, I guess, of like just bright colors and geometric stuff. But then they would slow it down and bring it right in front of my face, and they were like, "Oh, you want to remember? Look, we'll show you the details." And then they brought it right into my face. I just remember the way it just slowed down to go past me. But then I feel like with the message that was coming into like, immediately I knew what they were trying to tell me is there's already a connection, and all you have to do is ask, allow, because they're basically showing me like, look how quick we were just able to just listen because you asked for it. But you have to ask and you have to be intentional. You can't just be loose with it, I guess. And so I guess the point was like, oh, look, you asked and we showed you right away. We did whatever it was that you asked right away. But you have to have that intentionality and that communication with your guides, because whenever you ask, that's why even spirits in the spirit realm, when you ask them for things, they do it in our physical reality. Thank you so much for spending the time and watching my video. If you like my content, if you could please like, share, or subscribe, and that way you can go ahead and follow and be a part of my journey.